Okay, so this sheet is going on your next available page.
There's no place to write, so we just write it wherever.
Yeah. Make sure you get this go down on this page. But we're talking about our systems of equations. This time we're going to be looking at them in word problem context. So we're actually going to apply these to real world situations. All right? So this first handout basically breaks it down step by step how you go about attacking these word problems that are dealing with your systems. Okay? So I have one that's pretty much laid out with an example, and we're going to work it out step by step. And then, of course, we'll do more practice with it as well. All right. So here's an example that we're going to work with, and we're going to break it down step by step. So you sell tickets for admissions to your school play and collect a total of $104. Admission prices are $6 for adults and $4 for children. You sold 21 tickets. How many adults and how many children tickets did you sell? So that's the question. And now you have to break it down. Okay, the first step is you want to define what your variables are. Just think about this. This is dealing with a system of equations, which means we need to have two variables here. What are the two unknowns that we have here?
4 and 6.
No, that's a known.
The two unknowns
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
are how many tickets for children, how many tickets for adults.
And so once you figure out what your unknowns are, those are going to be what your variables are. Okay? Now, if you want, you can make A be adults and C be children, or you can use X and Y. Either way, you need to make sure you define what you're using. Okay, for me, I like to actually use the variables that they represent. So I'm going to let A represent adult tickets, and C to represent the children tickets. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to try to figure out what are your unknowns. And then step 2, you actually want to write your system of equations. So you might need to go back to the problem and try to figure out, okay, what are going to represent my two equations? So we're selling tickets to a school play and we collect $104. The admission prices are $6 for adults and $4 for children. And we sold 21 tickets. And then we have to figure out how many of each. Your two equations are embedded within those first couple of sentences. Anybody want to take a stab at one of those equations? Madison?
A plus C equals 21, and then 6A plus 4C equals 104.
Okay? Because we know that we sold 21 tickets, but we don't know how many children tickets we sold. So that's one of the equations to represent exactly how many tickets we sold. And then the second equation represents the pricing. We know that it was $6 per adult ticket, $4 per child ticket, for a total of $104. Questions on that part? That's usually the hardest part, is writing the actual system itself. So then step 3 is to actually solve the system of equations. Okay, I'm just going to rewrite it since mine's on the completely opposite slide. This is where that skill comes in. Which way you want to solve it? Elimination or substitution? Elimination. What do you want to eliminate? A or C? Either or. Let's go with A, since I heard A first. In order for me to eliminate my A variable. Okay. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That's fine. That's fine. She already said.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Haley, what'd you say?
-6.
So what? Which one?
Oh, the top one.
Yes, we're going to multiply the entire top equation by -6, so that way we can eliminate our A. You can eliminate C, it doesn't matter, but we have to figure out the price of both an adult ticket and a child ticket. So, if I multiply this through, that gives me a -6A minus 6C equals a negative. Anybody? Negative 126? As we can see, our A's are going to cancel because one's positive, one's negative. What's 4C minus 6C? Negative 2C. And what's 104 minus 126? Negative 22. Then we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. And we're going to see that C equals 11. So that lets us know that how many, 11 represents what? C, the number of children's tickets that we sold. So then we just need to figure out our adult tickets, right? If we plug it back into the original first equation, that gives us A plus 11 equals 21. Subtract 11 from both sides, and A equals what?
Can't you just do 21 minus 11?
So A equals 10. So we define the variables, what we're looking for, we write the system, we solve the system, and then for word problems, you want to write out what your solution is, okay? So we had 11 and 10. They represent the number of tickets of each type. So you sold 11 children tickets and 10 adult tickets. Word problems are a little bit easier to also kind of check because think about it, if you solve a system and you end up with a negative number, can you sell negative tickets? No. Okay? So if you ever end up with a negative, deal with a word problem, you kind of go back and look at the context of the problem, you're like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Then you kind of know that you made an error there. Okay. So here we go. The first example, it says your family goes to a restaurant for dinner. There are 6 people in your family, large family. Some order the chicken dinner for $14.80, and some order the steak dinner for $17. If the total bill was $91, how many people ordered each type of dinner? Define your variables. What are the things we don't know?
We don't know how many of each were ordered.
How many of each? Each what?
Each meal.
Okay, and we have 2 types of meals, right?
Yes, you have chicken and steak.
Chicken and steak. So those are going to be my 2 variables. C is going to be my chicken dinner. Probably no one's hungry. And then S is going to be our steak dinner. Now we got to write the system. We got to write the system of equations. We go back, it says there's 6 people in my family.
What would be C plus S equals 6?
Yep, you need to represent the number of people who got each type. So it's C plus S equals 6 to represent how many got chicken, how many got steak, but for a total of 6 people. And then
17 or like 480x plus 17y equals 90. Or we're not using x line, we're using c and s.
yeah, we're using C and S, but you were right. $14.80 for our chicken, C, and then $17 for our steak should equal a total of how much money? 91. So there's our system. Now we just need to solve it. Okay? I'll leave that to you guys. You can solve it using elimination or substitution. Okay? But go ahead and solve this system. Another thing that can kind of help you as well, you know that it can't be no more than like the answer should be no more than 6. That's your limit. Okay? So our numbers are below 6, yes? Perfect. What you get for chicken dinners? How many chicken dinners do we have? 5. How many steak dinners? 1. Yes. So, how'd you solve this system? Did you guys use substitution or elimination?
I use elimination.
Elimination? Okay. Isabel, what did you eliminate? The C or the S? You eliminated C, so that means you multiplied the. So she eliminated C by multiplying by a negative 14.80. So I gave you a negative 14.80 C minus 14.80 S equals a large number.
Negative
88. 80.
That's really good.
So then that eliminated. So then you end up with a negative positive 2.20 cents S equals 2.2. Oh, that was nice. 2.20. So then you divide it by 2.20, and that's how you end up with S equaling 1. And when you go to plug it back into the original, C plus 1 equals 6, so C had to be 5. So we write that as our solution. That's 5 chicken dinners and 1 steak dinner. How are these? So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to do number 3 on your own. Not number 3, number 2. Third example overall today. I want you to do the next one on your own. Give you about 5 minutes. Okay, who got this? Who got the variables? What are my 2 variables here? Rachel.
Oh, H equals hot dogs and B equals burgers.
Okay, so we've got H for hot dogs and B for burgers, okay?
And then, should I keep going?
Yeah.
And then the system's equations would be H plus B equals 8. And then 1.60 H plus 5 B equals 23.
Very good. Because we needed a total of 8 packages of meat, so H plus B equals 8. And then the hot dogs cost 160 each, and hamburgers cost 5 each, which equals 23 total. So very good. Okay? And so then we solve the system out again. What way?
Elimination.
Elimination, okay? So that means you had to multiply one of these by something.
Yeah. The H plus B8 by negative 5.
So you multiply by negative 5, okay? So we multiply by negative 5, this is what we'll end up with to go with our other equation. See, you working with the whole numbers. Awesome. Okay? What's negative 5 plus 160?
Yeah.
Positive or negative?
Negative.
And then over here, what's negative 40 plus 23? 17.
Yes.
Divide by negative $3.40. 2 negatives do make a positive, so that's a good thing. We got a positive number, but what is 17 divided by 340? 5?
Yes.
Okay. 5 hot dogs packages? So then how many burgers?
3.
Awesome. Easy stuff, right? Question?
Yeah. It says how many packages of hamburger meat.
It got us, didn't it? We only needed to actually answer one of these. Which one did we need?
Hamburgers.
Just the hamburgers. So it's definitely not 8 hamburgers. What am I writing?
Yeah.
How many hamburgers is it?
3.
It's 3. My apologies, guys. My apologies. So 3 hamburgers, and you're right. Got to be careful. Make sure you only answer what the question is asking you to find. Very good. Okay. Let's look at this next one. Changing it up a little bit, just a little, tad bit. Here's number 3. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. After about 1 minute, I'm going to check to see how you did on your system. Okay? Just to make sure we got the system set up. So go ahead and work on number 3. 3, what were your 2 variables?
Pizza and bread.
So I got pizza and breadsticks. Did you use X and Y or did you use P and B? Okay, cool. So those are my 2 variables. Terrible. So then, did you get your 2 equations? What'd you get?
I said 3P plus 2B equals 29.
Awesome. And the second one?
And 2P plus 3B equals 23. I just put it.
Oh, 0.00. That works too. Good stuff. Those are the systems, that's the variables. Okay, keep working. Now remember, we're asking for the cost of pizza. And since we're dealing with money, we could get a decimal here. We are talking about money. Okay? We could get a decimal. We are talking about money here. Savannah. She got that pizza cost $8.50. Can you talk us through how you got that? Okay. You multiply the top equation by 2.
And the bottom equation by -3.
Bottom equation by -3.
To eliminate P.
To eliminate P. Okay. So go ahead.
So then I ended up with 6P plus 4B equals 59. And then the bottom equation was -6P equals minus 9B equals -69. And I crossed out P. And I ended up with -5B equals -10. Divide that by -5 and I got P equals 2.
So that lets us know that breadsticks cost $2, right? We don't care about the breadsticks. They dry anyway, okay? So we need the P.
And then I plugged that into the top equation.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up with 3P plus 4 equals 29 plus B. I subtracted 4, and 3P equals 25.50. Divided that by 3, and I had 8.
So you got 850? Awesome stuff. I got 8.
Checked it.
And you checked it. I like that.
That's an expensive pizza.
Well, if you think about it, Domino's be charging like, well, if you don't have a coupon, they charge like $13 for a large pizza.
Especially when you get it delivered.
Especially if you get it delivered. And they tax on that. Now, there ain't no little Caesars where you get $5, but, you know, that's for another discussion. All right. How are these? How are you doing with these? Good? Okay.
Do you want to have a class on which pizza joints are the cheapest?
You know, we could kind of roll like a little experiment. Let's go to number 5. Let's go to number 5.
Get number 4.
Yeah, we're gonna skip number 4. We're gonna make that your pie tomorrow. I don't know, or not tomorrow, Wednesday. Let's look at number 5. We're talking about a beach hotel in Cancun is offering a 2-weekend special. One includes 2 night stay with 3 meals that cost $195. The other includes a 3 night stay with 5 meals and costs $300. Did you see how they didn't put the flight prices up there? They wrong. What is the cost of a single meal? What's the cost of a single meal? So go ahead and let's set this up. In about a minute, I'm going to double check your system, okay, before you get too far into solving. Hey, Sonny, did you get the system? What you get for the system? Yeah, not the answer, just the system. Just make sure everyone's on the same page.
2x plus 3y equals 195. 3x plus 5y equals 6.
Okay, and what does X represent?
The night stay cost.
The night stay cost, okay, and Y?
Meals cost.
Awesome. Good stuff. Keep going. But it seems like, you know, when it comes down to solving these systems, we want to eliminate that first variable, which kind of works out in our favor, right? This time, we're looking for the cost of a meal. All right. So when I'm looking for the cost of a meal, that means I need to eliminate X, so that way I can solve for Y, right? TJ, what you multiply by? Did you elimination or substitution?
I did.
Okay, so then what did you multiply the first equation by to eliminate X?
3.
Positive 3, and then what about the second equation?
-2.
-2. Awesome. And then what did you get once you multiplied those through?
6 and, well, from the top of 6 and plus 9m equals 585.
Mm-hmm.
Then the bottom is -6 and minus 10m equals -6m.
Okay.
Then I subtracted 9m and -10. Subtracted 9 and 10.
Yep.
-1m equals, and then I subtracted 585 minus 600, that's -15.
Yep.
So I divided -15 and -1.
Mm-hmm.
$2,
That's the cost of the meal? Yep, so one single meal is $15. I I know I kind of cut you guys a little short on that time, but I want to make sure we can get to that last one. Okay, number 7. Go look at number 7.
That's gonna be hard.
It's not that hard, but it is going to incorporate substitution a little bit. And we're going to do this one together. It says the cashier has 25 coins consisting of nickels, dimes, and quarters with a value of $4.90. If the number of I think I missed out something. What does y'all paper say?
Of the number of nickels?
No. What does your paper say?
If the number of times is less,
One less.
is one less than twice the number of nickels, how many each less than one?
It is one less than twice the number of nickels. See, that was important. Number of nickels. Well, at least it's right on your paper. It's okay. I can just write it in. Okay. Then how many of each type of coin does she have? What are our variables here?
D equals 2 n minus 1.
Well, you gave me an equation. I want my variables first.
Like
Nickels, dimes, and quarters. Yes, we got nickels, dimes, and we got quarters. Okay, so we got 3 different variables here. And TJ, you already kind of gave me one equation already. What did you say?
D equals 2 n minus 1.
D equals 2n minus 1 because it says if the number of dimes is 1 less than twice the number of nickels. So that's one of my equations. Very good. But I need some other equations here too. What do you think? Very good. N plus D plus Q equals 25, right? Because we got 25 coins. And we have 3 different types of coins, so we need to figure out of how many nickels, how many dimes, how many quarters, but we have a total of 25 coins. And we actually need one more here. How much is it worth? $4.90. A nickel's worth how much? 5 cents. So that would be .05. So 0.05 N. How much is a dime worth? 0.1 D plus how much is the quarter worth? 0.25 Q is going to equal 4.90. Okay? This one's a doozy. Okay? But not too much. Because one, they gave you an equation that was already solved for one of your variables, D. Dimes was 1 less than twice the number of nickels. We know we have 25 coins total, and then we have the monetary value there.
Teachers, please just have your students leave backpacks.
So for this one, what we're actually going to have to do is we're going to have to take that first equation of D equals 2n minus 1 and plug it in for D into both of our equations. Okay? So that's going to be N plus 2n minus 1 plus Q equals 25. And then 0.05 N plus 0.1 times 2 minus 1 plus 0.25 Q equals 4.90. I used one of those equations to substitute it in for one of my variables. And then when I simplify that, that'll leave me with 3n plus Q minus 1 equals 25 for the first equation. And then for the second equation, I have to distribute that 0.1. Okay? Real quick, what's 0.1 times 2n? What's 0.1 times 2? 0.2, so this is 0.2n. And then what's 0.1 times a negative 1? No, something. Negative 0.1. Okay? So if I distribute and then combine like terms, this will give me 0.25n plus 0.25q minus 0.1 equals 4.90. even though this is a little bit different from the equations that we've been working with, because you know it's just been our variables on the left and our numbers on the right, we'll still end up that way. We'll just have to add a 1 and then add a 0.1. And it'll be back to how it was. Okay? Oh, snap, I'm still recording. Okay. All right. So just to finish up this problem for you guys, okay? So what you need to do is you're going to need to basically add 1 to both sides, and then add a 0.1 to both sides over here. Okay? That way it will give you your two equations that you'll need to solve this system. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to eliminate Q by multiplying by a negative 0.25. And so when I do that, all right, so when you multiply 3 times 0.25, you'll get a negative 0.75n minus a negative 0.25q equals 6.5. And then your bottom equation will stay the same. This will allow you to cancel out your q's, and then you will have a negative 0.5n equals 11.5. And when you divide both sides by 0.5, you'll end up with n equaling 23. So then that'll let you know that you'll have 23 nickels. This cashier will have 23 nickels. And then we can plug nickels back into this equation right here to figure out how many dimes. That'll be just 2 times 23 minus 1, which is 45. So that's how you should have 45 dimes. And then, okay, so this actually is very incorrect. I'm sitting here, I'm like, something's not right because it should add up to be 25 coins. Hopefully you recognize that I didn't distribute the negative over to this 6.5 when I multiplied the negative 0.25 by the 26. So this actually ends up being not 11.5, but it will actually end up being a negative 1.5. So when I divide a negative 1.5 by a negative 0.5, I actually will get not 23 nickels, but 3 nickels. So I do apologize for that. Hopefully that didn't mess you up too bad. So when I go to plug it in back over here, that's going to be 2 times 3 minus 1, which will give me 5 dimes. Now the numbers are looking a little bit better. And then to find my number of quarters, that'll be 3 plus 5 plus q equals 25. That's 8 plus q equals 25. So I'll have 17 quarters. Okay? So again, I apologize for not carrying over that negative. Hopefully it didn't throw you off, but the solution to this will be the cashier has 3 nickels, 5 dimes, and 17 quarters.